So we call back the agent. Oh, taken already. Huh? That kind of pace you have, no? Singapore, you probably there 3 months later, you're still there, no?
Welcome to our first episode of Alumni Spotlight, the podcast that empowers aspiring business undergraduates to kickstart their business journey and to turn their dreams into a reality. I'm your host, Jaden.
And I'm Jolene.
And today, we have an exciting episode that will share you valuable insights and tips on how you can navigate your journey into the corporate world.
Today we'll explore more into banking on how there are many variations to how your path can look like. So today joining us we have Mr. Chua, which is the president of the NUS Business School Alumni Association, also known as BSA, and also an experienced leader in the banking industry. So thank you, Mr. Chua, for joining us today.
Yep.
And before we start the podcast, maybe you can share more about background and what BSA does.
Okay. My background is in the banking industry for about 31 years. I started a local bank, then I moved on to regional bank, foreign banks. I also took a stint in Hong Kong for 5 years, between 1995 to 2000, which means that before the handover and after handover. So it's a very exciting period in Hong Kong. So the overseas experience allowed me to have a very unique exposure, not just to the region, but also into Europe. And my last bank I worked for was the Russian bank, so I actually traveled to various parts of Russia, which is very unique and exciting. NUS BSA is one of 3 alumni in the business school. The other 2 are Mandarin alumni and MBA alumni. So anyone who graduated from business school are eligible to be our member. You can be a student, you can be a fresh grad, you can be somebody who graduated for 20, 30 years. Our members, there are 2 type members. One type member is that they want to join you because they ask, why should I join you? What's the benefit to me? That's one type. The other type is, I want to join you because I want to contribute. I want to be a mentor, I want to be a donor, I want to be involved in community engagement. I want to do good because I do well, I do good. So basically, we have a series of event activities that cater to these 2 groups of people. By a big way, NUS BSA is the most active alumni in the whole of NUS. No one comes close. Most alumni, if you have 2 activities a year, is considered quite good. We do, just in March, we really have 5 activities. So, but it's not the number of activities, it's just that the board, including and also people like students like you all, come together and we want to create new things, want to engage, we want to deliver, and we want to make sure that the family continue to be connected and also benefit from each other as we grow together. So we are not, we in fact, my board, we have a few very young alumni who have graduated about 3-5 years. And the reason why we have such young board member is to engage young people like you. A guy like me who want to engage you will sound like, this uncle sounds like my father. They're nagging me all the time. Okay. So, but that's the whole relevant of it. So that's the reason why we could grow, because we continue to evolve, we continue to be relevant. So one of the iconic events we have is the BizConnect Charity Run. Every year we have about 1,000 participants. We raise about 400,000 to 500,000 for bursaries for NUS Business School students. And our guest of honor is always a minister. The year when I was the chairperson, the guest of honor was the President of Singapore. So it's well regarded, and it's probably the largest event in NUS, bigger than, say, the Red Flag. But it's not the largest, it's that we want to engage, we want to get alumni to come back, to serve, to contribute, and students get involved because we are trying to do well, do good for everyone, so that everyone can be part of this journey together and that nobody is left behind. Within the bursary itself, we also have another fund called the Student Experience Fund, and that is for people who go for exchange. Some students, because of the financial situation, can't afford an air ticket, so they will not go for exchange. And I always emphasize to them, nobody should be left behind because of financial situation. You may not go to Norway, Canada, but you can go to Korea, you can go to Hong Kong, you can go to China. It's much cheaper, and also the benefit is still there.
Thank you so much for sharing about BSA. I think a lot of the students don't really understand what BSA does. Like, we know it exists, but we don't really know what it does. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Moving a bit into your career background, right? You mentioned you started your career in banking,
Right.
mostly. I'm sure most of the students are quite curious. What got you into banking in the first place? Was it just by coincidence, or were you intending to go into banking, or how did it all begin?
Okay. First of all, there's no career guidance during my time. Yeah, you're on your own. But the market then was very, the Singapore is trying to be a financial center. So a lot of foreign banks are setting up their branches in Singapore, from Europe to the United States, Asia, and so forth. So there's a big demand for employment for banking. The other side is IT. Singapore was trying to computerize itself, all the ministries. So almost half my cohort are in IT, the other half are in financial industry, and which I'm in. You will probably get 2-3 offers, job offer, and then you're wondering, well, should I join this or should I join that? And you have no idea because you have really no idea because you never know this bank, Goldman Sachs, what is this? Yeah, now you know, but that time you say, what is this company called Goldman Sachs? Or this guy JP Morgan, what does it mean? Yeah. So the market was there. So it's not like that we are so clever, it's just that they offer job.
Maybe just now you shared like how you work in Singapore and how you work in Hong Kong, Russia, and so on. So maybe I want to ask, like, what's the major difference that you see working in Singapore as compared to other countries?
Okay. There's a lot of cultural differences, whether Singapore and outside Singapore, whether in Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Hong Kong. Most people think that Hong Kong has a faster pace than Singapore, which is actually quite true because the cost of doing business there is very high, so they need to churn very fast. In Singapore, let's say a property, you want to, aside that you want to know why you want to buy, that means the price of the property, you also want to know why the seller want to sell. Singaporean very funny one. Why are you selling? Is it because somebody died inside there, or why are you selling this price or that? In Hong Kong, they don't care. I just care, I want to buy at this price. If the price is right, I just buy. And it's so ridiculous in Hong Kong is that I was told that you go to, I need to rent a place. You say, you go there, you like it, just call the office, we'll issue a check. I say, I haven't even seen a property. Is that you see a first property, you like it, you just call back and issue a check. What is this? And so I went with my secretary, who is pregnant but worked faster than me. And we saw 1 or 2. The first one was okay, second one not so good, third one. So I said, yeah, maybe the first one. Yeah, so we call back the agent. Oh, taken already. Huh? That kind of pace you have, no? Singapore, you're probably there 3 months later, you're still there. No? So that's how the pace goes. So if you like something, you just, because they already done the homework. This is a rental price, or this is a location, they done their homework. Not like go there and take a look and see where's the morning sun with the evening sun and all that. They just know that this is the right price and just move on. So that's Hong Kong. You go to a seminar and you meet some people. In Singapore, you meet some people, you exchange name card, all that. Probably a month or maybe 2 later, then you start to contact the person. Joseph, we met at this seminar. And Joseph will say, huh? Who are you? In Hong Kong, if I meet somebody, the next day I'll get a phone call from him. Can I drop by, have a chat? Can we call for coffee, call for tea? And that's how they follow up. And if they think that there's no value for each other, okay, walk off. If they think, how to follow up. So you can see how intensive they are. We are very poor at that. We take our time, and by the time you want to see this person, the person could even left the place, or the person can't remember that we actually met. Yeah. So that's Hong Kong. But if you go to other places, let's say you go to some of the neighboring countries, the pace is a lot different, much slower. And they're very irritated by Singaporeans who is so pressing, so pressurizing, like want this thing done by yesterday and all that. And they find that, you say, "Pa, easy, I do it tomorrow, no, or by the end of the week, no, it's okay," kind of thing. The culture is very, very different. So when you move out of Singapore, first thing, recognize the differences and work accordingly. Respect the other party, how they do things. Otherwise, you get frustrated, you'll never get things done.
I think Singapore is slowly, as you mentioned, like at the beginning, Singapore was still trying to catch up to become a financial hub, right? And now it currently, I would say it is a financial hub.
Yeah.
And banking is definitely more known for its, like notoriously known for its long working hours. So I'm just curious, like what motivated you to stay on? Like what kept you driven doing those?
Okay, working hard is a given. Anyway, you are whether banking or that, you need to work hard. But you also need to work smart. You have a family. I have a family when I was in Hong Kong. You need work-life balance. You need to attend to your work, but at the same time, when you're home, drop it and spend time with your kids, spend time with your family. There are times where you have time for them and there are time for work. When you're working hours, just go out. That's fine. Long hours, okay, some people, if you go to Shenton Way today, at night, okay, reference place, at night, you see most of the offices, the lights are on. Most offices are still on. Why so? It's not that everyone work overtime. If you're in loans, unlikely you need to stay that late because your clients, let's say, in Asia, same time zone.
Yeah.
But if you are a trader, you trade into the UK market, then you follow up by trading into the New York market. Obviously, you have to be around. So the lights are on for a different set of people. The Singapore market or the Asian market a bit not so juicy as say the New York market because more volatile and there are more things to do. That's it. But so those guys, yes, they work not longer hours. They work in the night hours, different time zone. So don't be taken away. And are there times where I need to work overtime? Where I need time to put in some more effort? Yes, I do, because some deals are more urgent or something more pressing, but it's not all the time. So you have to learn how to work smart. When your time to go, go. If your time to work hard, work hard. Yeah.
So I think just now you mentioned how like you in your background you went from banking to business development and now to currently volunteer work. So maybe I'll ask like what's like your motivation to try all this kind of things?
Try what? Community work?
Yeah, community work.
Okay.
Like jumping from a role to role. Yeah.
If you look at when I started with a local bank, I noticed a lot of local tauke or the businessmen. Yeah. Most of them are not well educated. Yet their own drive, their own motivation, and they have a heart for the community. The former Nanyang University, called Nanta, came about because of generous donation by the businessmen, even a tricycle rider. Donate $1 for breaks to get it done. So a lot of these people don't even have the opportunity to go to school. And yet, they donated a lot of money to make sure that the next generation can benefit from it. In all the MRT stations, there's only one that have a name to it. Not a road name, but a person called Tan Lak Sai. Heard him? He built Xiamen University. He built this schools, integrated school in Xiamen. Why? He had no education, but his passion for it, he know that in order to get out of this poverty cycle, in order to be able to do better, you need education. And they generously donated to Nanta. And so this example showed me that you can contribute, even in a smaller way. I mean, the tricycle rider, he's just earning so little money, yet he contributed. So these are things that motivated me to want to also be part of it, but that you can help others in whatever ways you can, by time, by effort, or by money. Yeah.
The transition from the corporate world to volunteer is like really a very vast difference. So I really look up to you for making that transition. But I think the overseas part is still like what a lot of students want to know about. Like they want to go on. You mentioned like we have a fund for students to go on exchange, and maybe some students are also considering maybe like doing internship overseas or maybe working overseas in the future. I'm just wondering, is that something you would recommend for students to do to get the exposure overseas?
If you have a chance to work overseas, go. Wherever they are. Because of the cultural difference, because of the social differences, the work environment there, just go. You will benefit from it because you have a different environment. We are here, we are very sheltered. Everything is in our favor. You walk out, there's an MRT, take a bus, you go home, you come back. in a lot of countries, just go from point to point can be 3 hours. I go to China, and I ask, where are you going? They say, oh, we're going to point A. I say, how far is this? Oh, not far, not far. So I say, excuse me, what is the definition not far? Oh, 3 hours. I said, huh? 3 hours not far? Yeah, China is so big, it's sometimes 7 hours, 8 hours, 3 hours. And I ever travel in Mongolia where I travel for 12 hours, having seen a plane on the left and a desert on the right. For 10 hours. And before the phone ring, and then somebody, the driver pick up, and they say, well, where are you? And they say, oh, yeah, we are this place. We are about to arrive. So I'm very excited. I told the driver, we are about to arrive. Yeah, 2 more hours. Huh? 2 more hours about to arrive. I said, but we already traveled 10 hours, 2 hours about to arrive, right? Yeah. So the context of things, the geography, we are very small. When you go to a lot of places, I go to, for example, I visited this coal mine in Kalimantan. I had to take a plane from here to Kalimantan and then take a small plane to a football field at the airport. And then from there, another 3 hours to reach a coal mine, which means that the place is so remote. And you can never imagine a project like that until you are there. Then you are there, the coal mine is so huge, they can't imagine it. It's just beyond your imagination, how large a scale. And then the truck that bring the coal from point A to point B, you look at it, it's like a toy vehicle moving around the coal mine. But you actually stand beside the vehicle, just the wheel itself is about this height to the ceiling, 10 tonner. So then you look at it, oh, then if this truck is so big and it looks so small there, and you look at it in the perspective, this coal mine is huge. And then from point A to point B, it's like 30 kilometers. That's why when they build infrastructure there, they had to spend a lot of money. And if rainy weather, the road can be muddy, so they have to make sure that the road are strong enough to take this 10-tonner vehicle. And when the weather is not so favorable, they have to continue it because the coal has reached the jetty for them to be exported. So when you go there, they understand, oh, when they ask for capex, why is it that to build a small bridge takes so long and spend so much? Because the bridge has reinforced that the 10-tonner can go through it and not sink into it when they are daily pounding on the bridge. So these are things you will learn. Yeah. So you have a chance, please go and learn. You may have a bad time, you may have a difficult time, so be it. It's a lesson learned, and you understand how fortunate and how blessed are in Singapore.
I agree though. I feel that in Singapore it's like a little bubble that everyone is comfortable in, and then not a lot of people want to explore outside when there's a bigger world outside. Yeah, but staying on this overseas topic, right? Maybe I want to ask, like, what do you think is the biggest challenge working overseas? And how do you overcome it?
There are many challenges. Here, you have a home to go back. You can after work, you tell mom, I'm coming back. When you reach home, there's a dinner ready for you. Overseas, there's no mom, I'm coming back. You come out, you look for food, and it could be in Singapore, you have a hawker center there. In a lot of places, there isn't. So you have to look for then your own lodging, your own accommodation. A lot more challenges because the nearer you are to the so-called office, the more expensive the rent. The further, the cheaper. So you have to decide, if the dollar they have, how do I stretch it? So you probably stay a bit further away, which means that it may take more than an hour to reach your office. So these are things that you take into consideration. And then you have to find friends, people you can maybe a weekend spend time together. Otherwise, you're alone. And you can be assured that even your greatest enemy, if you're overseas and you meet each other, you become the best friend you can have. You have so much to share. So when you're in Hong Kong, you have a group of Singaporean friends, you have also a group of Malaysian. And we talk to each other like as if we are part of the same country. And once I host a potluck in my house, and maybe in an apartment, which is 1,000 square feet, it's very small. But about 50 people turn up. Because somebody heard there's mee siam, then heard there's satay. You die, you also turn up. You don't know the person, also make sure that you turn up and just, hey, hi, just make friends of that. wow, the mee siam is just irresistible. So is a satay, so is a red bean soup or whatever. So people come together for the food, and that really gel, and then suddenly it becomes the best of friends. So it has challenges, but it also has fun. It's up to you. If you want to stay in one corner and go home and just go to the apartment and don't mix around, then no point going overseas. Yeah. But there's a lot of benefit. Also, the system overseas are quite different. The legal system, even the transportation system, and so forth. But you get by lah. Once you adapt, once you're able to get away from the fear and move on, there's a lot. You enjoy it.
You mentioned like there are, of course, we know there are large differences like culturally, socially, like between different countries, right? But just wondering, how about like in Singapore, for example, everyone knows about banks, but not many people know about the difference between the local banks and what is a regional bank does. What's the main difference between the two banks? Like an international bank like JP Morgan, for example, what are the main differences between such?
By and large, the local bank, you got the DBS, OCBC, UOB. They have big department. So one department, let's say a treasury department, could be like 100 people. A BS department about 200 people. So it's huge by itself. So if you are in one department, you probably don't need to like go to the 5th floor away or even the next building to look for your colleague for legal department. So that's local bank. For foreign bank, if they are just a branch here, you got about maybe 60 to 150 people, one floor, and you know everybody. So one department, maybe the business department, about 10 people there, treasury department, 20 people there, and the credit people, 8 people there, marketing people, 6 people there, and so forth. You get to know each other very fast. So the environment can be very conducive. But if you are difficult yourself, then you make enemy out of everybody, then you very tough. But on the whole, the foreign bank environment which I went through was very conducive for me to learn. I got a very good boss and good exposure, and I learned very fast. And that's one thing which I always advocate: be humble. Always recognize that your success is because of the willingness of people around you to help you and to guide you and to mentor you. You're not there alone, whether inside the organization or outside. And that is how you build your own career. Things change all the time. In fact, in banking, if you look at it, the crisis in banking is so, every 5-6 years there's a crisis. And each crisis that happens, you think there's no tomorrow. It's like, oh, this time die already. Gone. This crisis is beyond repair. And then about 2-3 years later, you recover again. And then people forgot there's a crisis, and then they move on. So you learn to deal with a crisis as they come along, learn from it, and move on. A lot are beyond you in any case, but it can be very fearful when you're in it. I always mention this thing called SAR, which is equivalent of COVID. When it happens, you think that's the end of the world, no? Cinemas are empty, airlines are empty, hotels are empty, we come to office, client cannot see you cannot see client. What's there to do? Luckily, it only lasts for 9 months. But it's like COVID where you can't see the end of the tunnel. But this is how you learn and you just overcome it.
That's true. I feel like personally for me, I feel like banks can be very intimidating sometimes, very big, a lot of people there. Maybe I want to ask, like, what do you think the students should have, like the mindset, attitude, or skills to have to get them started into the bank?
Okay. First thing, work hard. Secondly, be humble. Thirdly, be a team player. Your attitude must be right in order to survive and grow yourself in anywhere. Because whatever you study in the university only gives some knowledge. It doesn't give you the working part of it. And you really have to learn how to, the knowledge and how people around you guide you. There's so much to learn, just so much to learn. And in banks itself, there are investment bank, there are corporate banking, there are so many types of banking. Each of them have their own specialty that is almost impossible to discuss here. But you have to, once you're inside there, learn as much as possible.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's very interesting to don't know. I think a lot of students, like, they go in with a certain level of expectation, then they, not say they don't want to be team players, but they want to just succeed on their own, never really consider the team as a whole.
Wow, they
I
thought
think
they thought the NUS Business School
yeah, I think
degree.
that's a very common,
Yeah.
common perception. I think just to wrap things up in the interest of time, just one last question.
Yep.
So this is quite a deep question.
Sure.
So you had many long years in your career. If there are any lessons you've learned that you would like to share with this aspiring undergraduates, what would it be?
As I mentioned earlier, the banking go through crisis after crisis. Last time used to be about 10 years of crisis. Now it's about 5 years of crisis. People don't learn through crisis. They forget very fast. At the time when the shit hit the fans, things are really bad. And then they overcome it, and then they forgot there was a shit before. On your own, your attitude must be there. I say you got to work hard, you have to be a team player, you have to be humble and learn through it. There's no easy thing. Sometimes you get a good boss who is a very good mentor, very good. Sometimes it may not. But whatever happens, take the point of humble yourself to go and learn. It's a very learn process because new products come out all the time and new things happen all the time. You cannot stand still and say that, oh, I learned enough already, I'm done. It's not done. The market moves. And the market is getting more volatile. I mean, you look at it, out of nowhere, there's a Ukraine war. Out of nowhere, there's a Hamas war. I mean, all this you cannot put in your budgeting when you start the year budgeting. You can never put this and say, oh, what if there's a war? Even if there's a war, how does it affect you? Not everything. Some things will affect you, but some things are not. But how does the market react? You also don't know.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Then you adjust it accordingly, and then sometimes it may benefit you. Sometimes it may hit shit. So part of the whole process. But learn from it and then move on. There are many people around you that can give you some guidance, and you find that if you are able to work with people, you are never alone.
I see. Thank you so much for sharing. I think that concludes the episode today for Alumni Spotlight. I hope the viewers are feeling inspired and have learned a lot from Mr. Chua sharing. A special thanks to Mr. Chua for being here today and sharing your experience with us.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and share with your friends. Remember that everyone's journey is unique, but as long as you have planning, passion, and resilience, you can achieve big things.
Until next time, keep chasing your dream and be a dream maker. Thanks for tuning in.